Hey everyone, I just wanted to talk about Social Security for a second. It won't be the last time, it's not the first time already, but it's a socialist program. It's a socialist program. There's a bunch of socialists in our country, in America. Okay, but it works. And then you'll be like, oh no, but it doesn't work. And you know why it doesn't work? It doesn't work because I could take that money and I could invest it in an S&P 500 index and I could make 10% gains. And I was like, no, you couldn't. One, for two reasons, too. One, that's a very broad generalization of what you think the market works like, and it's not true. And two, let's say you're like a savant at investing, you're just amazing. Um, that's just you. Most people, most Americans are not that and will never be that. And if any of them are, that's just more competition for you. Self-defeating. It's all priced in, right? Um, so like the financial literacy in America is pretty low, um, and that's, I don't know. It's not really. I would say it's not really Americans' fault. They're always just told, like we're literally told, like, ah, yeah, you're fine. You do this. American dream. Go get a job. Go get a degree. Join the military. Whatever, whatever. And it's all gonna pan out. You don't really got to think about it. And then when you need the money stuff, you just go get an expert, and then you're good, and problem solved. So it's pretty dismissed in a lot of different ways. I know there's people that are gonna be like, not me, and it's like, yeah, man, but you got to remember, like, you're the exception, whether you realize it or not. You are. If you have parents or family that taught you about finance, um, that's exceptional. There's not a lot out there that do that. Um, and that's why we see a lot of the like rise of social media influencers that want to sell courses on how to do financial stuff. You want to buy stocks, you want to trade currencies, you want to trade options and futures. You want to lose not just your money but everyone else's money and then owe them more than you ever had. You want to trade on leverage. That's, yeah. Anyways, so there's three things that I think really hamper Social Security's um, ability to function properly or efficiently. And I'm sure there's more, but three that stood out to me is one, that people are a lot older, living a lot longer than back in the day when it was developed. And two, there's a lot of tax evasion around it, where higher income earners don't pay into it, and or if they do, we could always up that bracket that they can contribute, since like honestly it's a lot of that whole like flat tax, progressive tax stuff at that point, where it's like, oh, 10% for someone with $10,000 is way more impactful on their bottom line than 10% for someone with $1 million. Yes, the millionaire is paying $100,000 and it's a lot more than $1,000 by the person with $10,000, but you still have $900,000 to live off of, and that's tons, tons, tons. So when people ignore that, it's just, to me, it just blows me away. And then the third reason, I always remember the two, and then I forget the third, and I'm forgetting it again now, and I hate myself for this, because that's exactly why I deleted the last 5 videos I made of this, because I don't like to edit, because I'm bad at it, and I don't have a lot of tools to edit, and I'm just gonna pause the video and try to remember what my third reason was. It's a good one when I do remember. Oh, I remember now. It's how do I say it? I want to say it properly. Wages not keeping up with the cost of living. Okay? It's relative to that, okay? It's not inflation. Inflation plays a role, but it is not the main role, okay? It's just the cost of goods and services increasing over time, and wages not staying with that pace. And another way to word that is economic inequality, where we have a lot of people who don't have much, and then we have a very small amount of people who have more than enough, like way more than they could ever spend their whole lives. Um, it's not to begrudge anyone. It's not like it's your fault you're poor. Oh, it's your fault you're rich, and like we're gonna penalize you. It's just to say that's the reality of it. And there's a lot of legislation that goes to helping rich people stay rich and rich people get richer easier, go read the One Big Beautiful Bill or the Jobs and Tax Cuts Act 2017. We're removed from a global taxation system to a territorial one, and like, yeah, it's just it's a bunch of tax cuts is what it is. And anyways, so these three reasons I think really impact Social Security's ability to function proper. Like, people are living a lot longer. Okay, take that into account. All right, people are living longer. They're going to require Social Security longer. So you might not like it, but just increase the price of contribution. So let's just do random numbers here. Let's say your paycheck, maybe 5% of it went to Social Security back in the day. I don't know what the numbers are. We're just making them up right now. So maybe now 7% goes, okay? And then there's a cap too. So it's like, okay, so you've contributed a max amount per year. This is where the tax evasion part comes in, where it's like, okay, increase the IRS's ability to legally go after these multi-millionaire, billionaire corporations so that they pay what's required of them, or repeal, or do both, or repeal some of the laws on the books that allow you to like make certain donations and different types of like purchases and donations that reduce your taxable income. So like, I don't know, if I can remember, I'll post it in the video. There's a link to, it's back in 2012 or 2013. It was like top 400 wealthiest people in America and how they were able to pay less taxes than just the standardized taxed amount. I'll try to find that and I'll post it in the description if I can find it because I'm making this on the phone and I'm gonna have to put it on the computer. I'll figure it out. I'll do it though. And then yeah, I mean, we talked a little bit about the wages and the cost of living, but like, you know, America used to be the land of unions and like workers, and now we're the land of consumers and not workers. And I don't know, there's a lot of, me personally, there's a lot of pride that goes into doing your work and doing your job right and doing it well. And you know, it can be easily thrown away. Other people can just scoff at it, especially freaking salesmen, where it's like, oh, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, dude, you do your job. I'm just the technician. Like, I do mine. We work together. We're a team. But yeah, I mean, we're in America. We're a country of consumers, and that's embarrassing to me personally. I guess it's like, it's embarrassing. I don't know. We used to be a country of like workers, and we still have innovation. Like, Americans are very innovative, and I think it has a lot to do with our economic structure of like capitalism. Now we have, in my opinion, if you watch any of my other videos, we have like a bastardized version of capitalism, and it has gone into it's been neoliberalism at that point, where it's just like free trade, all trade, everybody, you know, tax cuts for all the businesses, like it's economies of scale, paired with like open markets, lowered trade barriers, tax cuts for the wealthy, because they'll build factories, and they never do. They just buy back their stocks or give it to their shareholders. Oh, I got a good one on insurance too. I'll make a video about insurance and about how the relationship with insurance companies' incentives is wrong when it comes to shareholder value, because that's what they do. They care more about shareholder value than their customer base. And insurance is fundamentally about the customer. It's about making you whole when you have a claim. But instead, it's not. It's about increasing shareholder value. Where it's like, hey, we want our shareholders to have more money because they'll invest more in us. It's twisted. But it's a theoretical reason. You know, I don't have any proof. I just going off of what I see and hear. So anyways, yeah, that's my talk on Social Security. It's cool. I like the program. I think Americans are not very good at saving, and having a forced opt-in option where it's like, hey, you have to contribute to this, and it's to your betterment. You're really young right now, and you're not going to think that way, but it most likely will turn out that way.